everyone. My name is Marquita.
And I'm Summer.
And we are My Sister's Crown. So as you can see, we're missing one person, our beautiful Shani. She's not here with us today, but it's all right. We miss you, Shani.
Miss you.
So how's it going? How's your week been?
So I have a little bit of exciting news. For those who didn't know already, I got into law school last week. I've really fought my desire to be a lawyer for a very long time.
Yeah.
Very long time. I doubted whether I even had the ability to do it for a very long time. And so it's a blessing that I got into a school that's close by that actually we're doing all virtual this semester. And so that's allowing me to be home with my daughter and be home with my husband. And first year of law school, I've heard, is the hardest out of all the years. I mean, like time consuming wise. So I'm just praising God for this. For this opportunity, and I'm thanking my friends, my family for pushing me and believing in me and just keep encouraging me to do this. I've been telling Marquita over and over again, if January would have been like precursor, like if I would have just looked at January and my life at January this year and been like, my life is just gonna be hell, like I would have never thought my life would be where it is right now. And I think that's just an encouraging thing for none of us to ever give up on what we want to do. Don't, your past is not your present. I actually, my first year of college, it was terrible. I went to Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama, and I ended up leaving there with, I think, a 1.23 GPA. It was terrible. My focus wasn't where it needed to be. So I had some stuff happen to me, but I ended up getting, hunkering down, focusing, finding myself again. I ended up getting into Rutgers, and Rutgers I was able to get my undergrad and graduate with honors. So I just want to encourage everybody, like, just please don't let your past or past mistakes be a determining factor for where you want to end up in life. It doesn't mean anything. Who you were yesterday doesn't mean anything about today. You can change your life today. It's all about, what you put into it. So, I'm excited.
I feel like a lot of people have that story. I mean, my story, believing that I wanted to be a nurse and going to school for so long, believing that was the avenue that I wanted to take with a career. And, I remember being at community and having like a 1.0. Did not know what I was doing, where I was going. And it's something about when you really do believe in yourself and you find that passion and you find that purpose. Once I decided that I wanted to study psychology, my life just, everything just started just working out. So I want to say that I'm so proud of you on behalf of myself and everyone. We are so proud of you. You are going to kick butt. And we just love you. We support you. And just keep on letting us know how you're doing.
Thank you. I will. I was just telling Keenan this week, I was like, this stuff is so interesting to me. And I remember in a lot of states, there actually is a duty to retreat in regards to self-defense. So you can reasonably get away. Me and Keenan had this argument all the time. I came home and there was a guy in my house with my daughter, I'm gonna shoot him. I was like, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
No, you can't do that. No. Well, he's a stranger in my house and I'm threatened. I said, no, that's not how self-defense works. It's crazy. So I'm already finding out new stuff. I'm already finding out different ways things are done. So I'm just open.
We are proud of you. In that story, I feel like we could just go right into our embarrassing moments.
Oh God. Okay. So I had orientation this week. So we were doing virtual. And I decided because it was my mother-in-law's birthday on Wednesday. Shout out to Mimi.
Happy birthday, Aunt Shelly.
I had lashes on, I had my makeup done, blah, blah, blah. And then I forget, I'm on virtual video, and I forget that I have my lashes on. I'm scratching my eye, and I just go, and I pulled my eyelash off.
Oh man.
In a screen of like 50 plus people. And I quickly put my profile picture up. And it was quite embarrassing. And I was just beside myself. I was
Well, hopefully no one, is really like looking at you.
like,
Like, oh, you see that girl with the one eyelash?
I've had such an embarrassing life. There's so many. I have so so bad.
Well, you just talking about Keenan made me think of a story when I was younger.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure a lot of females, can relate to this story. But when I was younger, I had a boy in the house, and my dad came home, and it just wasn't good. Like, I remember seeing my life flash before my eyes.
What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?
So my dad came home. Thankfully, we weren't doing anything. Mm-hmm. And I hid him in the closet, the classic closet hideout. I want to say I was like 14.
Okay.
All right. So I was a youngin', and my dad came home, and he knew that somebody was there. Like, it was just so obvious. Like, it was like 4:00 in the afternoon, and I was in the bed acting like I was asleep. Like, it was just ridiculous.
Oh God.
And my dad says, "I'm gonna go get my gun." He ain't had no gun. But you saying that about Keenan made me think about that story. And I just remember him running out the closet, jumping down the stairs, and just bursting through the door and running out. Oh, it was just a horrible day. Like, I ran away that day. It was just horrible, y'all. It was so horrible. Talk about embarrassing.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Did you get beat that day?
I did. My mom came home and she gave me a fair one. No, it wasn't even fair. It was...
She yoked you
It
up.
was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. I think that was the beginning of my embarrassing moments of life.
My earliest embarrassing moment. Okay. So when I was a kid, I used to live in an apartment complex. And we used to play all outside, and the apartment complexes were connected by sidewalks or anything like that. So we're outside. A bunch of kids was deciding they wanted to climb a tree. And I was like, oh, I can climb it. Being myself, oh, I can do anything boys can do, blah, blah, blah. So I go climb the tree, and then I climb up, and then I try to hop down, and then my shirt was caught on the branch as I tried to get down. And so now I'm 11, 12 years old, and now my chest is exposed to all the neighborhood boys. And then nobody was strong enough or old enough or understood that I needed to be pushed up in order to get my shirt off of the hook and then down. So then somehow I had to, with my little upper body strength, lift myself up, pull myself up, and then pull my shirt down, and then pop down.
So you gave everyone a little show.
I gave everybody a show. I was so embarrassed. I think I just went home. And, I don't even think I told my mom. I was so upset. I was like, oh my God.
You didn't have anything under your shirt? Like no undershirt, no nothing?
No, I don't like undershirts. I don't really like them.
Yeah.
So I don't think I had one on. I was just bare chest. Yeah. I remember the wind hitting my chest, and I'm like, oh, okay. We out here. I'm naked in front of the whole neighborhood. And everybody was just quiet. They were just like stunned silent.
You saying now I'm thinking of all these embarrassing moments. One recently when you were there. So everybody, I recently just lost like 30 pounds. At the beginning of this year, I set a goal for myself. So this summer, we went to the beach, and I had on a bathing suit that was...
Yo, I forgot about that. Wow.
I had on a bathing suit that was too big because, again, it was from last summer. Mind you, I lost 30 pounds. But I didn't think anything of it. It was my time of the month, and I'm walking around, just thinking that I look cute. I look good. I can tell that, my bathing suit's a little bit bigger in the back. Again, I lost weight. And my husband is like, yo, what did he say?
Of course.
It's a string poking out the back of your bathing suit. And I'm like, what? And Dom, like, oh, there it is. Oh, I was so embarrassed. But I got over it quick, though, because I was around family. But that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing.
Yo, your string's out. Just out.
It was just hanging out. I didn't even feel it.
Like, oh my God. Speaking of time of the month, okay. So another crazy, embarrassing moment of mine, right? So as women who've had birth, after you give birth, it takes a while for your body to regulate your menstrual. So some months you might have a lot, a ridiculous amount, and then some months you might have a little bit. So I decided to get on the Marina because I don't want kids for a little bit. So when I actually started a job, a new job right after I got off of my maternity leave. And I remember about like the first month or two I was there, my period it was like I was 11.
Yeah.
It was like I just couldn't somehow keep control and blah. Like it was just so much. It was ridiculous and nothing made any sense and I was just frustrated. So I get to the job and I remember I'm like, yo, it was only like 10 a.m. and I was like, oh God, and then I stood up and I was like, I felt it. And I ran to the bathroom. I had leggings on that day. My underwear, my leggings all soaked through. Luckily, my job has a gym and a locker room. So I ran to the locker room and there was nobody there, thank God, because it was 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I had to wash my leggings out in the sink. And then I decided, I was like, you know what, F this. And I had to go and walk to Five Below in downtown Center City. I think I left then. I was just over it. I didn't care about lunchtimes or nothing. I was over it. And anybody ever do the shirt around the waist walk of shame? Yes. You ever do? Yes. You buy the jacket, the jean jacket, the sweater, the cardigan around your waist walk of shame? Yes. I'm doing that downtown Philly.
That's why it's always good to have a girlfriend with you. You can check, oh, is there anything? No, everybody do a little check. Oh my goodness, that is embarrassing. That's always embarrassing.
I did have a female coworker and I was able to tell her my frustration. She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But again, I remember my mom even texted me, do you need me to go to the house and grab your clothes? I was like, by the time you get here, I could have just went to Five Below. And luckily, Five Below was only like a 15-minute walk from our office and $5 leggings. So I just got there.
Is that the same Five Below you always went to when you needed an umbrella?
Yes.
Because you was always getting rained on at work too.
Rained on. Yo, when I first started this new job, I was literally always getting rained on. Always. Oh, somehow it was raining every day. And no matter how many umbrellas I would buy, I would always forget them, leave them, misplace them. I was always going to Rite Aid for an umbrella or I was grabbing one for Five Below. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some more embarrassing moments. Let me see. Oh, there's one when I was in high school. I used to run track. And again, guys, I'm 5'1". So I thought that my little self could jump hurdles. I'm not saying that short people, we can't, jump over anything. But for me, for someone just starting out running, I don't think hurdles was the best. Was the best thing for me to do. And so I was running, I think for a couple of tryouts, I was doing good. And I don't know, this one time I jumped over a hurdle and I just went down. It was horrible. Sprained my ankle and everything. I was busted up.
Like a tumbleweed?
It was so horrible. I really thought I was doing something. I was fast though, but I went down. I just couldn't. I don't know what happened. My balance when I jumped over, it was it.
Oh
it was
God.
it. That was horrible. I had a lot of bad stuff happen to me in high school, like embarrassing moments though. Being hit by like a volleyball, in gym. Like I was always in the wrong spot or the wrong space. Like to get hit by something. It was just cool. Then everyone laughs. It's so embarrassing.
I think my most embarrassing thing to date, besides the tree t-shirt thing and flashing my entire neighborhood, was me getting in a car accident the day of my graduation. My dad gave me, I had for the longest time a 1996 Ford Explorer. That Ford Explorer was with me from when I was 18 till I was 21. That was my baby. Old, she was rickety, but she worked and got me from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. It was good. So graduation day, my dad comes up and he gives me the keys to the car. He's like, "This is your car from now on." I'm like, "Oh, this is great." I'm all excited. I don't care what it looks like. I'm like, I got a car. So I'm like, all right, we're going to go to the nail salon. So I take me and my girlfriend to the nail salon to get our nails done before graduation. And as we're leaving, like, I don't feel like waiting. For whatever reason, I don't feel like waiting.
Yeah.
For my dad, because my dad was doing something. And so I was like, "Oh, we'll just wait for you we'll just come back. Somebody will come get you or something like that." He's like, "Okay." So I leave and we drive around. And for some reason, this corner in Cherry Hill just like threw me. And I ended up ramming into the side. Like, it's like I wanted to turn, but I made too wide of a turn. And I ended up ramming the side of this white service truck. Luckily, I was in this big old Ford Explorer. The only thing that ended up getting broke was just like my headlight.
Oh, okay. Good.
So, and the airbags did not deploy. Like, it was kind of more of a slide boom.
Yeah.
And so I remember I had to call. Everybody was up. My grandparents, my dad, my parents were up. Yeah. My aunts, uncles, cousins. Everybody was up. Plus, I had my best friend in the car. So then I'm just like, oh my God, this is so bad. So then I had to call my dad. He was down the street. He had to walk down the street. I'm crying. I'm like, it was so bad.
Why didn't you get your nose done the day before? I don't know. Usually, for graduation, you get, everything done the day before. So you're not rushing around the day of.
I had to rush back and we had to rush back and get our dresses on and then get there. Luckily, my dad knew how to fix cars, so he just found a Ford Explorer hood at a junkyard and found a side piece and a headlight, and just came up a month later from North Carolina and just put it on for me.
Wow.
And then it was white, so then I had to go get it.
So it worked out.
It ended up being fine. He wasn't too mad about it, but it was my first day with my own car.
Oh man. Wait, let's see if I could think of another time that was embarrassing. Okay, you bringing up all yours are making me think about mine that relate to it. There was one time I had just got my license and just started driving, and I drove to Philly. One of my friends, her brother had passed, so I went to their funeral. And you know how the streets in Philly are very narrow.
Yes, it's terrible.
It's narrow and bumpy. And I'm leaving the funeral, and no, I think this was before the funeral. And I'm driving down, and I hit a car. And I was in my mom's car, and the window, the side window, the side mirror, it fell off completely. I was so scared. I was the whole day. I'm like, oh my gosh, when I drive back to Jersey, my dad is going to kill me. So I'm texting Maya, telling her what's going on so she can have my back when I get there.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do when you got sisters. Watch out.
So thankfully, before I had went back home, I had stopped around the corner to my grandma's house. And my grandma, everybody knew my grandma. Everybody knows my grandma. They called her Aunt Brenda. She knew everybody. So she found some mechanic that used to work on cars in the hood. He was like, don't worry about it. I got it. Didn't charge me. So he ended up putting a screw so it would stay on. So when I got back home and, I went upstairs and I was like, Dad, I got to talk to you. And he was like, what did you do? So when he came outside and saw that it was fixed, he wasn't too upset. But I did get a speech though. But that was very embarrassing because I had just got my license. I thought I was cute, you know, driving in Philly and hit a car. It was horrible.
Yeah. First accidents, they turn you into a whole different person.
They do. They're horrible.
They have you real focused. They're supposed to. Supposed to have you real focused. But, you know, your husband made me think about this conversation about the WAP. You know, I was part of me like the song. I guess I just don't like. I was listening to it, and I feel like it's the same way if I feel like being ratchet sometimes, or I feel like just kind of feeling myself.
Yeah.
I'm like listening to, you know, what's it, Saweetie, My Type, like,
yeah.
Or what's that Nicki Minaj song we both like?
Darn. It's off of her last album.
Yeah. Oh goodness, it's on the tip of my tongue and it's upsetting me. I can't think of it.
Because I used to sing it to each other. What is it called?
Good form. There it goes. Good form. That was that'll make you feel good about yourself. And I think there's a power in a woman's sexuality, and I think it's important to feel powerful, you know, to know that, you know, what you got is something special. But I guess for me, like, if they, you know, I didn't really get the uproar. They're not the first women who have done a sultry video. You know what I'm saying?
They're not.
Sexualized video. It wasn't something revolutionary. It wasn't something. So I just didn't really understand the outrage. And you know, obviously, or I guess not obvious, but the married woman that I want to be, I don't feel like that anybody other than my husband needs to see me in that type of way. I mean, I feel like that is the sacredness of sex between a man and not a man and a woman, but more so a husband and a wife, that is between a married couple. That's us. That's between us. I don't think that needs to be showed for the world. But if you're an entertainer, I can understand why they felt like they wanted to, you know, do it that way. Sex sells. Why are we acting like that's not something?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, like when we were discussing it the other day, you made a good point when you said, I'm not asking these women to represent me.
No.
You know, and I feel like, you know, nowadays people, they just get upset about everything, every single thing. And it's like, you know, again, that's not the first, second, third time I've heard a song like that. No. It's not. No. Again, it's what you choose to listen to, you know, what you choose to allow in your home.
Yeah.
You know? So, again, I didn't really understand the big uproar either. And I feel like a lot of music, especially, you know, a lot of music that a lot of men put out, they can say a lot of the same things and no one says a thing. No one has anything to say. But women, when it comes to our sexuality, it's like we're held at this different standard, you know, and that goes for a lot of stuff with women. But, you know, we can't embrace things about ourselves. We can't talk about certain things about ourselves, you know. But I do agree with you, because we talked about that too, about sexuality, how it is biblical and how that is, you know, something private between a husband and a wife. You know, it's not something that I would be comfortable sharing with the world. Yeah. But, you know, if these women, if they feel comfortable doing that, then that's them.
Yeah.
You know? So, hey.
And sometimes you need that song to get you out of a funk, to remind yourself, like, I am the SH.
Like, that is true.
Sometimes
I have a couple songs on my playlist. Like, all right, let me put this on, especially like when I'm working out or going for a run and I just need something to like really get me going. Like, all right, let me put this on.
Morgan's outside. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, we everything is just such a big deal. Like, it's a song. It's a song, you know. Is it something that I want my, you know, kids listening to? No. But it's a song, you know. Everybody just relax.
I mean, why would your kids be listening to secular?
Exactly.
sexual music in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
what is that about? I don't understand. But again, I think somebody made a good point. It's really just there's nothing. A lot of people really aren't doing that much. So
Don't have nothing better to do.
there's just you're just looking for it. I was watching people wrote whole dissertations about, and I was, and I get it, and I'm fine with, obviously it's your platform, your social media pages, right, what you want, but I'm like, why is this? It was going on for days. 4 days. I was like, all right, like, we get it. You don't like the song. We get it.
Don't listen to it. Don't buy it.
Don't get mad that people like it. If people, I didn't listen to, and I didn't care about Jesus is King, Kanye's gospel album.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it. I didn't care about it. I didn't care that some people liked it and some people didn't. I just listened to it. It didn't.
Just don't listen to it. I did like a couple songs after that.
Too much of a clown for me to do.
But yeah, you're right. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. That's it. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Let me see if I have any other embarrassing stories. I used to fall up the steps a lot.
How do you fall up the steps?
Yo, it happened a lot. That's the thing. And in my mom's house, I remember I fell up the steps because I was excited going somewhere, and then I missed a step and then hit my face. And then I was trying to rush to come out of the room, and my room is at the corner trying to come downstairs. And I end up sliding, and I slid, and my feet flipped up in the air. And then everybody came. There was a bunch of people at the house too. And then all of a sudden, everybody's around me, and they're pointing in my face. Ha 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 ha! You fell! Wow.
That's the worst. I think sometimes it's good growing up with a family that not teases you all the time, but gives you tough skin. Because you can take certain things when you get older.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I've heard that joke 1,000 times. It's not gonna hurt me.
Now, like, is there, when it comes to being like embarrassed as an adult, do you, or I guess as a kid, like, how hard is it sometimes to like overcome that?
Embarrassment.
We can laugh about it now, like periods of me getting in my shirt popping up, but can you imagine me having a vivid memory of that at 25? Say if I was at a conference and all of a sudden my shirt just disappeared in a crowd full of like 100 people. Like, how could you possibly like live that down? But when you remember these goofy things that happened in the past, you're like, you're like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I think it goes to what I was kind of talking about a little bit earlier. Like, your past is not your future. In that moment, you could be feeling like stuff is the end of the world. And it's just never going to get any better. And I remember a couple times I almost got caught doing a bunch of stuff. And I remember praying to God, like, if you would just, Lord, I don't think I can mentally take getting in trouble for this. Make sure that my mother does not find out, please. I promise to serve you forever. I remember over and over again, like, Lord, please, please.
I've had that prayer a million times too. Like, God, I know I said it last time, but please, this time, please. I promise you.
Oh my goodness. And remembering, like, I can't get through it. But then now I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. And that embarrassing moment, that terrible time, that whatever, it wasn't that hard.
Sometimes we need those embarrassing moments though, because they build character. Sometimes you have to go through things, to show you and prove to yourself that, I can overcome this. I'm an overcomer. Yeah. I can get through this. If I got through that, then I know I can handle this.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of things in life that you've gone through that have built you up for this moment of like even being in law school. Like, you could be looking at something, reading a paper, whatever it may be, and you may have a sense of doubt, and then you may think about something like, you know what, I can do this. Yeah. If I could handle what I handled, a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, I can handle this.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
I think those moments are good. It builds character.
It was very embarrassing for me when I like had to leave Oakwood. I remember I ended up I was like one of the only people that didn't really return. And I think at that time, girls who didn't return were often seen like as these girls who just had lost their way or were out of control, stuff like that. And so people ended up, or I felt that people had put me in that category for a very long time. And so I remember it was a little embarrassing for me because I didn't even go back home. I went and stayed at my dad's house for a year. It was kind of isolated, but I needed that isolation because I needed to get myself together. What happened to me while I was Oakwood, I didn't even realize what happened to me until this year. So, but I needed to overcome that identity, my identity, who I had been, or things like that, to become who I am now. And I remember there was a bit of embarrassment, you know, because I remember everybody was on Twitter when the people were coming back, and had somebody message me like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not returning this year." Like, "Oh, we're gonna miss you." And then I'm watching people go through stuff and have fun, and then relationships fester that could have been relationships that I've had with people. And these strong bonds grow from having these college friends and college roommates and things like that I never got to be a part of because, you know, I didn't go back after my freshman year. So
I can identify with that feeling. I know just even for me, you know, being in that community, you know, you see people go off that you went to high school with, they go off to college, and, you know, they have this on campus experience, and again, building relationships and friendships and just experiencing life at a different level, and you kind of feel like you're left out of it. You feel overlooked. You feel like, you know, wow, that's not me. I remember feeling like that and feeling really sad about it. You know, it was I can really identify with that. That was a rough time for me in my life as well. Yeah. And then not doing good at the same time. It's just
yeah. You know, I felt for a long time like I originally went to college for biology, but I hated science. And I remember when I went to North Carolina, I decided to stay with the biology as a major because I was telling myself this is something I wanted to do. And I did end up getting a higher grade than I did when I first went to, you know, kind of prove to myself, okay, you overcame, show that you know the material, show that you know what you were talking about, blah, 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 you're good. And it really was a new thing because I don't even think I went to my biology one-on-one class once or twice. Like, for real. I don't think I took that foot. I went to the first class. I didn't understand anything. He was talking to us like we had all this knowledge of stuff. And I had literally none. And I wasn't used to that. And I just shut down after that. So, when I went to school in North Carolina, it was like basically just starting from ground zero over and over again. But it allowed me to isolate and to pick myself up and to just, you know, gather the knowledge that I had myself and, you know, self-taught. I was kind of teaching myself a lot of things too.
Yeah. That's why sometimes isolation is good. You can just, you know, I say this all the time, being able to sit with yourself and just being able to reflect and really do the work that you need to do for yourself. I think some people take isolation and they use it in like this bitter, nasty way. But isolation doesn't have to be used in that way. You can really use it to better yourself.
I think there were
it's important.
I was really sad. I would see a lot of my friends going out, enjoying their 1920s. And I was just in Carolina. You know, I really have a lot of friends there. I would hang out with my girlfriend who would come back from Oakwood. She lived in North Carolina. I would hang out with her when she would come back. But I wasn't there like the whole time she was home or anything like that. So I was like, well, one bit of freedom. But I did get to come home, and I think me and Keena had just started dating at the time. So that was nice. But
it all worked out.
it did all work out. But you know, imagine if I decided that was just gonna be my life. And that was gonna be where I decided to stay. And I just that just never was going to be good enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people, they fail once and they feel like, that's it for them. It's not true. It's not true. And thank God that, you didn't allow yourself to stay in that position. You kept pushing, you kept moving. That's what it's all about. You got to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
I remember, I didn't even want to finish. I had one class left. One class. And you were like, you better take that class. I was just so done with it all. I was just done. And I don't know what happened one day. I was just like, you know what? I can do this. I got to move forward with my life because I want X, Y, and Z. These are my goals. Yeah. And I am a big believer in just because, and we talk about this too all the time, just because that one dream didn't happen for you does not mean that God can't give you other dreams.
Amen.
Does not mean that God can't show you your other gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that my life is a testament of that.
Yes.
And yours as well. And so many other people watching. Don't stop because that one thing didn't work out for you. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. God will reveal something else to you that you can start doing, that you can start working on.
You are rocking these braid styles, girl. I just have to say.
I think that I rock braids the rest of the year. That's how I'm feeling.
I'm with it.
I think I'm gonna let these out probably like September, and get like a wash and curl, get my trim and stuff. And then I think like October, I'm gonna get them braided again. Then I'm gonna get them braided again for my birthday. But I'm loving it. I don't do nothing. I just wake up and go.
Okay. My mom was like, "What's?" Because usually I change my hairstyle every 2 weeks. She laughs at me about it. But I don't see me doing anything else. I'm too tired.
I know, especially with you being in school and stuff. Oh man,
I'm too tired. I don't feel like doing it.
Oh, I don't miss it.
Yeah.
But I'm here for you, girl. And that color is really pretty on you too. And this is my first time seeing you with them down. You always have your braids in a ponytail.
I do. I'm trying to embrace.
Yeah, we're rock down. Looks so pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
I think that's it this week. It feels kind of short, or we're just getting better at this. I'm not really sure. So,
I think we're probably just getting better.
I think Chani definitely that we missed a little bit.
I know.
But I'm gonna get it next time. I'm gonna ask her. I want all of her embarrassing stories because I done spilled my whole treasure trove. No, I think I probably actually still have. I still have more.
I think I hit everybody with the biggest one for me. That really was the beginning of my embarrassment stuff. That was a crazy day.
Yeah, I think I have another one. I'm gonna save it. I just remembered another one.
Oh.
God, my life has been, and you have to learn how to laugh at it because it's just there's nothing you can do about it. There's literally nothing you can do about it.
Man, I've really been doing that lately too. Like when I have a bad day, I'm just learning to laugh. Like, oh my God. I'm just learning to laugh through it instead of ball up and cry.
Oh, you have to. Because it's bad. Life can get you down if you don't find the good moments and the good joys.
Yep, that is so true. I know anytime I wake up and I'm feeling like my day is about to just turn to crap, I'm like, okay, what can I do in this moment to make sure that doesn't manifest? What can I do?
Yeah.
How can I change my attitude? What can I say? What can I start thinking? Do I need a moment to myself? Maybe I should just pray? It's a lot of things. Because if you wake up in the morning and you're having a bad day, that thing can really turn into a bad day, but it doesn't have to.
It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't.
So like we're just talking. Time goes.
That's what a podcast is. You just talking like you're
Okay.
alone, and you just vibing off each other. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm very. I have overcame a lot, and I'm just thanking God for my growth. And I think sometimes it's important to just pat yourself on the back,
Mm-hmm.
and just remind yourself that you was it, and that's it.
Yep. Yep.
And,
Yep.
you need to be your only verification that you are the shit.
Yep. That's why I get upset when people get like angry when people like change. Like I'm not supposed to be who I was a year ago. I'm not supposed to be reacting to the same things I used to react to, or, my thoughts change, my ideas change, my emotions, how I handle stuff, it changes. And people get upset with that. Like, oh, she changed. She's different now. Because I'm not trying to fight every 10 seconds. It's somebody look at me wrong. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I got a family and a life, career to think about. I'm not worried about that. Some people, they don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
I remember when we was kids, I remember a girlfriend of mine, she was picked on a lot, like a lot. And people took advantage of her. They still take advantage of her to this day, unfortunately. And I remember this one summer she had went away and she came back. And I remember she was cussing a lot, and she was people would say stuff to her, and she would kind of bark back. And everybody, a lot of people were like, oh, you changed. You let public school change you. You let public school change, or something like that. You came a whole new person. Mind you, we was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
We wasn't like adults.
I'm an adult.
People throwing that adult language out there. They heard from somebody where people like, "Oh, you changed," and she was like, "Oh, I just got sick of people telling me what da da da." And I remember people made her feel so bad about standing up for herself, and she stopped. And it was terrible. It was terrible. And I guess you go from being super timid to then super buck.
Yeah.
It throws some people off, but and maybe we just didn't have the understanding to understand that as 14-year-olds. But she was just tired. She was tired.
Yeah, you get tired of people picking on you. I understand.
You're all confused. You changed. Like, yeah, she needed to.
Yeah. But as you grow up and you get older and wiser, you know how to balance it, I guess. You don't got to be super buck, like you said, but you can have your boundaries and know I'm not to be played with.
Yeah.
Because I think I didn't struggle with that, but when I was younger, I used to be really, really shy, really quiet. And to this day, I can still be shy. I can still be quiet. I think a lot of people used to look at me thinking that, oh, Marquita thinks she's all that. She doesn't talk to anybody. She doesn't do anything. But I was just very comfortable with being with myself. Even to this day, like I'm just so comfortable with just being with me. But I've learned how to like kind of, grow out of that.
Yeah.
But I think I had got to this place where I was so sick of people picking on me and thinking that they could take advantage of me that I just wanted to just kick everybody's butt. Like literally. Like if you said the wrong thing, I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
But then as you get older, again, you're like, all right, that stuff is it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I can still be, assertive, I guess.
Yeah.
And have boundaries and demand respect, without wanting to punch everybody in the face at the same time.
I completely understand that. I remember wanting to fight everything and everybody at one point. Being so ready.
Yeah, just ready.
And that was like my reputation for a long time. Don't say the wrong thing to Dom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know about yourself.
Yeah.
It also feels like you're living in this constant state of anger.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very exhausting to live in that constant state of, always ready to go, never been able to relax, always ready to jump off. That's not life
Yeah.
to me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Anymore. I used to be like that.
Yeah.
Well, not that long ago either.
I remember one of my friends in high school telling me that I reminded them of someone off of a reality show. And I think that's when it hit me. I was like, all right, I really need to relax because I was just always ready.
Mm-hmm.
I was just always ready. And again, just being angry, feeling like you got something to prove. Again, me, I was teased when I was younger, people taking advantage of you. And you feel like, you know what, this is my time and y'all gonna feel it.
Y'all done mess with me on the wrong day.
Y'all gonna feel it. But I remember when one of my friends back in high school told me, she was just honest with me. She told me, she said, you really remind me of this lady, and you need to calm down.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, I do.
Who was it? Who was the reality show? Who was it? You remember the name of the reality show? Was it Tammy Roman?
I feel like it was. It was either Tammy or Jackie. I know. It was either Tammy or Jackie. Mm-hmm.
Not Jackie.
It was either Tammy or Jackie.
Ugh.
It was one of them.
Because Jackie loved people, but she
It was probably.
I feel like it was Tammy because Tammy makes sense. She makes sense. Jackie be getting mad about stuff that don't make any sense.
I don't know. It was one of them. But I know when she said it, I was like, oh my God, I do.
Hysterical.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Because when I meet people today, I talk to people and they're like, what? You were like that? And I was like, yeah, I was the person to call if you wanted to rock and roll, for real. But I'm just not that person anymore. I mean, don't try me, but I'm not that person anymore.
Remember that time I called you because we had to go pick up Keenan? Every time? Okay. So
go ahead, tell it.
Tell
the world.
Keenan and we have been dating long distance for a year, and I came back. He was working at Wawa at the time. And he went out. He wasn't driving, and so he got a ride with a coworker of his to this house party. And he was supposed to come back because I told him we was gonna watch a movie. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll be back at this time so we can watch a movie." I said, "Okay." So it's like around the time I was like, "Are you on your way back?" He was like, apparently the person who was supposed to take him agreed to take him back at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the original agreement. And so the time came around, and he said he told the girl, "Hey, can you take me back?" And she said, if she want to come get you that bad, if she want to see you that bad, she need to come get you. And so he texted me that. And so I said, okay. I hopped in my 1996 Ford Explorer, and I rode over to Marquita's house. I said, I need some backup. And she said, us. And we hopped in the car. And I said, I texted Keenan when we got to the house. I said, you got 5 seconds until you can get outside. 5 seconds or I'm knocking on that door and I'm knocking everybody's head. And he was like, what? He was like, and then he gets in the car. He was like, really? You got Marquita in you? Oh, you was really ready. Oh, you was really ready. Oh.
All I know is that you sounded like you were in trouble and you needed somebody, and I was coming. I don't even think my mom, like, I told her, I was like, Mom needs me. I gotta go. She was like, all right. Put my hair up in a ponytail. I think I had my sneakers on. I was sitting in the back. I think I was quiet too. I was sitting in the back. I was just waiting. I was ready though.
I was ready myself. Oh Lord. And the funny thing was, they talked about getting ready for the bar, and everything you do in law school is to prepare you for this bar exam.
Yeah.
So they were talking about you need to literally disclose every part of your life, including sealed juvenile records. Now, I don't have any. Yeah. I've never gotten into trouble like that. But they were talking about you need to disclose everything. And I was like, yo, can you imagine getting in trouble for something stupid like fighting over a guy or fighting over a parking space?
Yeah.
Having to explain that to people who are deciding whether or not you can actually practice law. Like, it would drive me insane. I would never be able to,
I can see why they would want to know that stuff, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's important.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. You know, but yeah, that's it's important. Even when you are a kid, a teenager, to still think about your choices and your decisions because they can really cost you in your future. Your 30-year-old self will be looking back like, why did I do that?
My mom always told me, if you're gonna get in a fight, never get in a fight at school.
Yeah,
That was it. That was her only rule.
yeah.
I was
My
always
mom,
telling myself.
my mom and dad never told me that, but I love Mom Joy.
Well, she knew, like, if in college applications, one of the things they ask is,
Hmm.
have you ever been suspended? And if
Yeah,
you were to sit here and explain you got suspended because you got in a fight because someone pushed you against the lock, like pushed you while walking down the hallway,
yeah,
like
yeah. I know.
stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's always like, did you ever get suspended? Explain why. Do you gotta go through the whole story? Well, she rolled her eyes at me and pushed me.
Called me stupid, and
She
that's
called
it.
me
She spit a
stupid.
black eye. Is that what it?
So you had to beat her up. Oh man. Oh man. It's just crazy. When I look back at things, I'll be 29 this year, just looking back at life, like
Oh,
I'm
girl.
so happy I didn't do certain things, but I am happy that I went through certain things because I would not be who I am today. I
Yeah,
would I wouldn't. It's important.
that's true.
Mm,
We're praising God for growth
yes.
and embarrassing moments.
Embarrassing moments. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please comment, share with us your embarrassing moments, your stories, subscribe, anything. We appreciate all of you guys.
Amen.
Love you guys.
Love you. Good night.
Bye. Good night.